Okay, moving on to 6. So we need to do a couple things here. So we need to state if the sequence is geometric or arithmetic, and then state if the sequence will be best represented by linear or exponential, and then finally we're going to create an equation. So when we look here, this first one, what I would do is I'd look and see what they're changing by. So this one's +2. The next one's +2. The next one is +2. And you can kind of see a trend there. So this one, since we're always adding by the same amount, it's arithmetic. Then the best way to represent this is a linear equation. And then we're going to write this out. So for this one, since we're always increasing by 2, it's going to be 2x. That's going to be what goes with the x. And then we can figure out what our y-intercept is, because this is x equals 1, so the first one is our 1. If we subtract 2, then it's going to give us -1. Another way you can do it, f of x equals 2x minus 1 plus 1. This is similar to up here when we subtract 500. If you feel more comfortable with this method, then just stick with that one. Okay, so looking at the next one, when we go 3 to 9, you can say we added 6, but we also multiplied by 3. The next one is definitely multiplied by 3, so we're not going to worry about the +6. And then again, we'll multiply by 3. So for this one, is it geometric or arithmetic? It's geometric. Then the next one is it best represented linear or exponential? This would be exponential. And then create an equation. So exponential is a times b to the x power. So the rate that we're increasing by is 3, so that'll go in the parentheses. Then our starting number for this one is going to be 3. So we have f of x equals, so 3 times 3 to the x minus 1 power. That's going to be the best way. That way we ensure that 3 is the number that we start with. You could divide 3 by 3 and see what it would be originally. That one would be just 3x. It'd be a 1 out front. That's our starting number. Okay, moving on to C. So when we look at the sequence, we can see that it's always divided by 2, divided by 2, divided by 2. That's also the same as saying times 1/2, times 1/2, times 1/2. So we can end up writing this out as a exponential. It's geometric. Exponential will be the best way to represent it. And the equation is going to be f of x equals, so our first number is 60. It's going to be 1/2 x minus 1. Or if you wanted to multiply that by 2 to see what that would end up being, if we continued, it would be f of x equals 120 1/2 x. Again, if you feel comfortable with it this way, then just stick with this one. Okay, the last one, when we look at it, and it's +9, +9, +9, +9. So this one is arithmetic, and it's best represented as a linear. Then we'd have f of x equals, so we're always adding by 9, so it's 9x. And then what will get us to the first value, we have to do 9 times 1 and plus 5. That'll end up getting us to the first value. The other option is f of x equals 9x minus 1 and then plus 14. So either option works. Again, it's just kind of personal preference. So we have 6 done. We'll move on to 7. Okay, so 7, it's going to be solve these equations graphically. Really, honestly, I'm not going to walk through these ones with you. Just kind of something to remember when you're graphing them is where they meet. That is your solution. I would practice graphing these on your own, and then after that, typing them into Desmos and seeing what, if you're correct, if you're wrong. If you are curious, I can let you know. Just send me a message and remind. Okay, so moving on to 8. So it says cellular phone companies offer packages for their products to make them more attractive to potential users. If you average 356 minutes per line in talk time, which package is the better deal? So we're going to break this up by creating a piecewise function, and then we're going to see how much or which deal is better. So package A includes a free phone and 300 minutes. It will cost 12 cents per minute for each minute over the plan time. And then it has a base rate of $3.99 or $39.95. Package B has a phone that costs $10, so we'd spend $10, and it has 350 minutes of time, and it only charges 8 cents per minute for each that you go over the plan. So then package B has a base rate of $35.95, but we also have to remember that we're adding in the $10. So we're going to name these A of X and B of X. So just so that we keep them straight, package A, package B. So with package A, we're going to have two different equations when we are below 300 minutes and when we go over 300 minutes. So when X is less than or equal to, actually I'm going to write that off the side a little bit more. So we go from 0 to 300. So 0 less than or equal to X less than or equal to 300. That will be our first range. Our second range is when X is greater than 300, once we start actually going past our limit. So for this one, all that we would pay is this base rate of $39.95. So 39.95. That's how much we would pay. So once we go over that though, then we're going to have 12 cents per minute use. So 0.12. And again, just like we've done in the past, is going to be X minus 300. That way we're only charged for the minutes that we go over that limit. So the last thing is to add our original base rate. So 39.95. And this is when X is greater than 300. So for plan B, so B of X, we're going to find our domain. So this one is going to be 0 to 350. So this one has better or more minutes included with it. So when 0 is less than or equal to X, less than or equal to 350. And our second equation is going to be 350, or when X is greater than 350. So that's going to be our two domains. Then we just have to come up with our equation. So this one has a phone that costs $10, and for our sake, we're going to assume that we're buying the phone. And then it also has a base rate of $35.95. So we're actually going to have to add those two together. So it's going to end up being $45.95. If we're not spending over the 350 minutes, we're going to be paying a base of $39.90 or $45.95 because we had to add in the $10 for the phone. So then when we go over, it's going to be 0.08. That's going to be how much we are spending per minute. And this one is going to be the same, X minus 350. That's what we've done in the past. So it's X minus 350, so that we're only getting charged for minutes that we're going over that 350. Not all 350 minutes that have been up to that point. So then we add on our original. $45.95, and so that's when X is greater than 350. Okay, determine which package would be better if you average 356 minutes per month. So I'm going to take time, go find a calculator, and solve this one.